day, I was minding my business, and all of a sudden I'm seeing Tamar trending and K Michelle trending. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So Jay Martin posted and tagged me into something on Facebook, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So it happened to be this whole Tamar K Michelle situation where she went on a podcast called the We Sound Crazy podcast, and it was their 100th episode. And they asked her what her thoughts was on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album and Black artists within the country music space, which we all know there's not a lot of Black country artists who are working in the place. Like we know Shabuzi and a couple of others, and we're just now hearing from a lot of these artists because Beyonce's been working with them on her album. And then I've had a couple of friends of mine who listen to country who have been putting me on to Black country acts and letting me know about, those type of girls out there. And I've been listening to a couple of them, and I'm like, it's cute. Even though I will say this, country is not my foundation. It's not my judge in regards of like genres that I listen to. But I appreciate anybody who is willing to go into a space that has been colonized by the white folks. Because, people out here try to act like that white people created country when it wasn't. It came from Black people, blues and folk and so many other things that it evolved into country. And then it became more dominant with white people who started using it over the years. But there have been Black people who always played in that space. So Tamar went on this show, and I do have the clip. Hopefully it won't get flagged or whatever, because I was trying to look for a YouTube thing. But I was like, yeah, let's play it here, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts on what she had to say.
So Tamar, Cowboy Carter came out some weeks back, Beyonce's new album. What do you think about her moving the country?
I knew you guys were going to ask me about that. Did you? I did. I think that Black country is so necessary. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy that people with talent who can actually sing country music that are Black people are finally getting the recognition they deserve. That's what I think.
And she's a Texas girl. She's country.
Yeah. And, I don't know. I just really appreciate Beyonce for opening the door for all the other Black artists that has, rode that wave behind the floodgates. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just really appreciative for her.
Agreed.
That's awesome.
These people can really sing. They're so talented. Yeah. What's that one Black guy who could sing? Like he sings so low.
Tony Evans Jr.
He's on the show.
Yeah.
Man, I really appreciate his artistry, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'd be good. He'd be happy to hear that.
It's true.
Yeah.
I started following him because just to hear him sing, that thing is sing.
Yeah.
It's also another Black. It's like two Black girls I like. One little brown skinned little girl.
That's Tanner, right?
That's her real name, Tanner.
I think so. But keep going.
And then there's another girl who kind of looked like the Beyonce campaign.
I know
you know what I'm talking about?
I can't remember her name, but yeah.
She's talented too.
We'll figure it out.
But I appreciate it. I like it. Because it was a couple of people who should not have been singing country Black music that was awful. And it was concerning for me.
Care to mention a few?
No, but you know what I mean. I'm not trying to be funny. Yeah. I'm not trying to be funny. It just didn't sound good. Yeah. And you got to make sure if you're going to step into a new genre of music and represent us, that you gotta represent. Be right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, got to be right. Yeah. Can't be all auto-tuned down and flirt.
Oh, yeah. If you
That's not it.
If you were going to step into another genre outside of R&B, which one would it be?
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't care what other genre that she want to step into because people ain't even listening to the genre she currently in, which is R&B. So now what happened with that was immediately people went over to the neighborhood talk to start their shit. And people was up in there trying to say that she was throwing subs at K Michelle. Now, later I will, post what, or we'll talk about what Tamar had to say because she tried to say that she wasn't talking about her. She tried to say, I wasn't referencing you. I wasn't talking about you and all this other stuff. But sis, you were. Like, I'm not buying what you were selling. You was literally out here throwing shade at her and trying to act like you wasn't. So, of course, K Michelle had to get on the line and call her Janice from the Muppets, which I've been saying for years. And then, that's back from that old read when she used to get that on The Real. So yeah, she came out here and K Michelle went in on her social media and was like, how many times are you gonna keep calling for something you can't handle upon its arrival? Huh, Janice? But she said a whole bunch of things. So, the neighborhood talk did post a carousel of shade and reads that K Michelle posted. And she said, I spy with my excuse me, I spy with my little eye a leprechaun in my DM side. Imagine you keep playing with someone who's minding their business, then boom, they sick of you. One tweet and screenshot and it's over for you. I don't pull stunts Raggedy Ann. I pull cards. So it was like multiple ones. And then called her with the Janice photo, as y'all can see here, loud cackling hyena. But that is kind of funny. And it said, now I'm going back into my place of slumber, peace, and positivity. I have some goals to accomplish, and I'm grateful for every blessing I'm receiving. I could go there, but I'm going back to minding my business and singing these songs. And she also said, now, someone by the name of the influencer, since anybody could be one, that's kind of funny, said, now when at K Michelle responds, I don't want to see this be crying. And then another person posted what? That's his handle, said at Tamar, Braxton, hers, not talking about K Michelle. We've been down this road before, and I'm sure neither wants to revisit that. Well, and then she said, and then Tamar Esteem said, I absolutely was not. I said a few artists. I paid homage to Beyonce for bringing positive attention to country music. There are people who I don't address and I don't mention / shade to keep mess away. Where was all this chatter when my song went #1? I mind my business. Well, child, because you keep releasing like so many you other black performers, mediocre ass mid-tempo R&B tracks. And it's no shade, it's just what it is. Y'all get caught up in that whole space of what the industry wants y'all to be releasing, and then y'all release basic ass R&B music and wonder why nobody, is checking for it. Them same regular people that just like whatever, okay, so what, she black, she just gonna release this, they just gonna promote it and support it. I don't care. If what I always want is a black artist to step outside the box. That's why I love what Beyonce's doing, whether you agree with the whole country direction or not. She's taking chances and risks and doing things that is not necessarily in the wheelhouse of what would be expected of a black artist to do. So when she went, but then when she also went and said that that a lot of people are jumping into this. I said, wait a minute. First of all, there's been black artists who have been making, been doing country for a while. Because Beyonce is a mainstream artist, she is shining a light on a genre and bringing those people in. Many mainstream artists have done that. Madonna has been doing that throughout her career, where it's like you may have not been paying attention to this specific genre, but she'll work with people within that genre. And then once you hear the album, then you're curious, who was the producers? Who did she work with on this record? And then you shine light on those people. And then you start paying attention to what those people are doing. So then you get into that. Beyonce's doing the same thing. This is why I say out of all the artists that's out here, the mainstream artists, Beyonce is the closest to like on that same level of a Michael Jackson, a Prince, and a Madonna. The triple trifecta of icons. I don't know. This up-and-coming generation, y'all don't have that. I can't see none of these new kids that's coming up that's on that level, and we'll probably never see that again. I guess the closest of the last is gonna be Taylor Swift with all these sales and stuff that she's doing. And kudos to her. But look, Tamar is notorious for gaslighting and throwing shade and, throwing a rock and hide in her hand. And yeah, she may have said that that's not what she was talking about, but we know for the most part, how many black artists do y'all know that have played in the country music space? Not that many. The only one that I know before Beyonce was even going to come out and do a country record, before we even knew she was going to do a country record, K Michelle has always mentioned that country music has always been a space that she's always wanted to occupy, that she's always wanted to come out with a country record. She's always wanted to work and do country music. She's been saying this since Love and Hip Hop. So who else could she have possibly been talking about? You said some. Yeah, and then the guy, the producer, before I forget that part, not producer, one of the guys who actually worked on the episode, the podcast, because I should bring that up. I think it's Billionaire 1911. He tried to say that, she wasn't talking about her. Because she would have said her name, which is that shit that a lot of y'all like to do. Oh, she didn't say her name. She would have said her name, then she would have been talking about, first of all, like Judge Judy always says, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Like, don't sit up in here and try to play me like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, we as people of color have been conditioned to know a gaslight when it's happening. We've been conditioned to learn it when it comes from white people. Whenever they saying everything but that N-word, when they be trying to do the microaggressions and all that other stuff. But why when it comes to our own people, all of a sudden we get fucking dementia and amnesia. We get selective amnesia when it comes to our own doing it to us. But you're always on alert when white people do it to us. That don't make no damn sense. So if we the king and queens of gaslighting and knowing a sign of a gaslight when it comes across our situation, why do y'all always want to diminish someone's feelings, especially when at the end of the day, K. Michelle and Tamar Braxton know each other and know more than what we know when it comes to behind the scenes and all that other stuff. So y'all going by what you see on social media and stuff, but I pay attention to all of this. So he went and said, for the record, Tamar didn't mention K. Michelle's name in the interview or off camera. The media and the fans got to stop putting words in people's mouth. There are a number of Black artists trying to cross into country. I can name a few that should go in a different direction. Much love to Tamar Braxton and K. Michelle. Both ladies are extremely talented, and we got love for them at We Sound Crazy. And you know what? Two things can be true at the same time. It's like, yeah, she could not have to mention her name, but it could be like, you know, in her mind, she was thinking it. So people think like, oh, I have to literally say your name in order for it to be fact. She's done this before when she did it with Candy. She threw subs at Candy. And then when she got called out, then she got in the car and mentioned Candy's name. So we're not going to sit up here and act like this is our first time at the rodeo that Tamar will be pulling these damn stunts and shows. So let's not just get selective memory when it comes, like keep that same energy when it comes to a lot of people. Just like we can sit up in here and call Nicki Minaj when she throw out her subs, we gonna keep that same energy when it comes to Tamar. So I'm not buying any of this that they trying to sell. I know y'all over here, look, it's bringing a lot of attention to your podcast. So that's a good thing with, you know, your 100th episode. But yeah, I'm not buying what they're selling in regards to, you know, all of this that's going on. So, ladies, you said, Tamar, you stay over there and do what you got to do, mind your business. You know, I know you got the new season of the Braxtons coming out. I guess, you know, it's a reboot of the Braxton Family Values. Yeah, they're all back doing a reality show. So I don't know when that's coming out and doing what's need to be done in regards to that. That's what you should be worrying about and focusing on your son and that man you about to get married to. And K. Michelle, you keep doing what you got to do. I don't know if she's still working on release of country music or she got a country album or whatever coming out. But you know what? Do what you need to do, sis, and just don't pay attention to the noise. But I do agree. Sometimes I feel like the fandom can be a blessing and a curse. It's like, yeah, she may not have mentioned the name, but you know what? Some people, they do pay attention. And y'all tagging people in the situations and celebrities taking the bait, that is just grist for our mill. Yeah, we could sit and salivate in the mouth and we enjoy it because it helps us go viral and it helps us with our numbers and all this other stuff. But y'all just celebrities, y'all need to stop getting caught up in this mess. But then again, if you don't, then what would I have to talk about? So let me know what you guys think about this whole tea in the comments down below. Do y'all think that Tamar was throwing subs at K. Michelle? Do you think K. Michelle is overreacting? I definitely want to hear your thoughts. So let me know down below.